This is our Wednesday maths lesson, and the last one we'll be doing on dividing by 3 for a little bit, but that doesn't mean that we stop practicing, because it's really important that by the end of year 3, we should know our 3 times tables. So by the end of year 3, you need to know your 2, 5s, 10s and 3s. And hopefully you should be also working on your 4s or 6s. Some of you know them all already, and that is amazing. Okay, so even though we're finishing working on division by 3, I need everybody to continue working on their times tables, because we really need to get that tucked away before next year, and we've only got a few more weeks to do that. Okay, let's have a look at our lesson for today. 8 times 3 equals something. So we're starting off with our multiplication facts, and we can do that, as we know, from a number line where we're doing groups of 3 until we have 8 groups, or we could do it using our arrays, where we've got 3 rows and then we've got 8 columns. So we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and 24. And if you have a look at what I've done, I've put them roughly into an array of 3 rows with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 3 rows with 8 in each column, with 8 in each row, sorry. And the answer then is that we have got 24 altogether. Okay, and we know that we can also go backwards using that step. Here we've got three rows, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in each row. So even though we can't see how many are underneath here, we just use our multiplication knowledge to say that 3 groups of 7 equals 21. And how we would write that would be 23 times 7 equals 21, or 21 divided by 3 equals 7, or 21 divided by 7 equals 3. Here again, we've got 3 columns this time. And how many rows? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not that counting numbers where we don't count the same one twice. We wouldn't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got to count across 1, 2, 3, and then we count all of the ones in the column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 groups of 5 equals 15. Okay, let's go to our step in problem, which is again very similar to yesterday. How could you work out the total number of dots in this array? Okay, what multiplication facts could you write? There are 3 rows of 8. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 3 rows with 8 in each row. How could we write that? Well, rather than try and write it in there, I've actually put it over into our work over here. Okay. We have got 3 groups of 8. So we could write 3 times 8, and we know that is 24. Our next fact family is 8 times 3, and we know that 8 times 3 will give us the same result as 3 times 8. We're not losing any, we're just turning our array around the other way. We're turning it from this way going across to this way going down. 3 times 8 is 24. And then we've got our division families. So we have got something divided by 3 equals 8. And we know from our multiplication facts that this will be 24 divided by 3 equals 8. And 24 divided by 8 equals 3. Now, don't forget that even though in an array like this, it looks like it's the same, it's just been turned around. But if you were asked this in a problem-solving way, that if you had 24 eggs and you put them into 3 baskets, there would be 8 in each basket. And that is a different problem to 24 eggs, putting them into 8 baskets, and there would be 3 in each basket. So even though we say that they're fact families, they actually have 2 different meanings, and you need to be careful when you're doing word problems. Okay, so that would be our answers here that we would write in over here. Let's have a look at our book for today. It's the same things that we've been doing yesterday, except that this time they've just made it a little bit harder for you because they haven't counted some of the dots for you. So you need to count them. This one will be 3 times, and then you'll need to count across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think. Just check that before you do it. So 3 times 10 equals what? And then what are the other fact families that we can put in there? The same thing over here, exactly the same thing. Just make sure you're counting the dots. Complete each fact family, and then the step ahead, write the numbers and symbols that you would type on a calculator. So 3 times something equals 42. What is it that you would type on a calculator? Okay. And that's the end of our lesson for today. You're going to go and do 216 and 217. And then we're moving on tomorrow to look at volume. Bye, everyone.